Hello, my dear students. Myself Raja Pandi, assistant professor, Erode Engineering College. So today we will see the topic of biodiversity in chapter 3. So we know the biodiversity, which means bio means life, and the diversity means variety of life. So in this reference of biodiversity, which means variety of life on the earth or planet, okay, that is means biodiversity. So our planet of earth contains more than 20 million species of organisms. So 1.4 million species have been identified so far. Then the species were different widely from one to another one. So these variations living organisms is called as biodiversity. Then the definition of biodiversity, though, so which means defined as the variety and variability among all the groups of the living organisms and the ecosystems which they occur in this biodiversity or in the planet. That is called biodiversity. So significance and importance of the biodiversity. So it's very important our human life. So we depend on plants and microorganisms and earth animals for their own food, then medicines and industrial products. The biodiversity protects fresh air, clean water, and protective land formations. So it's also important for forestry, fisheries, agriculture, and it is a depend on variety of various biological resources. So in this nature, so the loss of biodiversity has a serious economic issue and social costs are for many of the countries. A impact of biodiversity loss. So the farmers prefer hybrid seeds for a result of very soon. Result is very soon. So many plant species become extinct. So the production of drugs, pharmaceutical companies collect wild plants, and several medicinal plants now become extinct. The tropical forest is the main source of world's medicine. So every year these forests are disappearing due to the agriculture and mining lacking. Then the classification of biodiversity. So this classification were divided into three types. One is genetic biodiversity, species diversity, then community or ecosystem biodiversity. Then first one is genetic biodiversity. So in this genetic biodiversity, so different genetic characters having in this genetic biodiversity. So the variations of the genes within the species, that is genetic biodiversity. So within the individual species there are number of varieties are in this genetic biodiversity. These differences are due to the difference in the combination of variety of genes. So in these basic units of hereditary information transmitted one to another one. So, for example, the rice varieties and tea good varieties. So, in this rice varieties, having many, we know many a type of rice varieties, Rhiza sativa, and some other species varieties are having in rice varieties. So, and then it differs from one variety to another variety for their genetic nature. Then teakwood varieties are the number of teakwood varieties are found available for called Indian teaks, Burma teak, and Malaysian teaks, etc. Then species diversity. So in this species diversity, which means the different species, some of varieties of all the living organisms at the species level is known as species diversity. So it's a biotic component is composed of a large number of species of plants and animals, microorganisms, which can interact with each other, and the abiotic component of the environment. Then examples. So in this example of genetic biodiversity, sorry, species biodiversity. So the total number of living species in the earth are about more than 20 millions. More than 1.5 million living organisms are found in the scientific names. So that is species biodiversity. Plant species like apple, mango, grapes, and some of the fruits and varieties. So these plant species. Animal species: lion, tiger, elephant, monkey. So these are the animal species. Then community ecosystem diversity. So in this ecosystem, it's a set of biotic compounds. We know that plant, animals, and microorganism, human beings, all the things are a set of biotic compounds. So in this set of biotic components are interacting with one another to with an abiotic components. Like we are depending on the water, soil, and some other natural resources. That is abiotic components in this system called as ecosystem. So the diversity at the ecological or habitat level is known as ecosystem diversity. A large region with a different ecosystem can be considered as a ecosystem diversity. For example, river ecosystem. So then biogeographical classification of India. So we know India is a mega biodiversity country. Then it in this country having a different type of climate changes. Then topographical changes in all over the country. So these variations have induced too much variabilities in flora and fauna. So in India occupies 10th position among the plant-rich countries of the world. So it is very important to know and study about the distributions and evolution and environmental relationship of the plant and animals in time to space. In order to know about the distribution and environmental interactions of flora and fauna of our country, biogeographers classified our country into 10 biographic zones. So India's major biographic habitats table. So biographic zone of trans Himalayan regions. So it's a upper regions. It occupied 5.7 percentage. The total area of biomass 1 lakh and 18,000. So 1 lakh and 86,200. Then Himalayan mountain, northwest Himalayas are occupied 17 percentage. So it occupies 6,900 total area of biomass. So we are see the some other examples of India mega biogeographic habitats. This also India's mega biogeographic habitats. Then values of biodiversity. So the values of biodiversity is not countable, uncountable material, uncountable one. So the biosphere is a life supporting system to the human beings. It's the combination of different organisms. Each organisms having the biosphere in the biosphere as it is known own significance. So the biodiversity is vital for healthy biosphere. Biodiversity is must for the stability and proper functioning of the biosphere. So we know and we get the benefits from other organisms in the number of ways and realize the real value of the organisms and it is lost in this earth. Then classification and importance of biodiversity, values of biodiversity. So conceptive use value. So these are in direct use values where the biodiversity products are harvested and consumed directly. For example, food, drug and fuels. Then food. A large number of wild plants are consumed by the human beings as food. More than 90% of food crops have been domesticated only from the tropical wild plants. A large number of wild animals are also consumed as food. So some examples are given in this slide. So Caesar microphylum, Codonobosis, and Ceropegia pulposa, and some insects are the examples of fruits. Then drugs. So every day we face the some difficulties like different type of diseases. So around 70 percentage of the modern medicines are derived from plants and plant extracts. So the 20,000 plant species are believed to use medicinally, and particularly in the medicinal traditional system like Siddha and Unani and other some Ayurvedic systems. For example, India uses 3,000 species of plants in Ayurveda, homeopathy, and the Unani system of medicines. Some other examples are shown there. Then, medicinal products of natural resources. For product of penicillin is a source of fungus, and it is used as a antibiotic material. Then, the streptomycin of the drug has been derived from anticinamide. then it is used as a antibiotic. Then tetracycline is a bacteria source from bacteriums. It is used as a antibiotic material. Then p venom is a source of source from b. Then it is used as a arthritis relief. So some other products were how it is derived from natural resources and the uses of medicines are shown in the table. Then fuel. So the firewoods are directly consumed by villages and tribal peoples. The fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and natural gas are also the products of fossilized biodiversity. So the productive use of values. So biodiversity products have obtained different commercial values. So these products are marketed and sold. These products may be derived from the animals and plants. These are the table of animal products. So silk were derived from silkworm, wool were derived from sheep, and musk were derived from musk deer, and tusk deer were derived from elephants. So some common leather are derived from all the animals. For in China, most of the belts, wearing belts are derived from snakes. So that kind of animal products were derived from animals. Then plant and animal products were for various industries. Plant product wood were derived from were used from to paper and pulp industry, plywood industry, and railway sleeper industry. So then cotton is used by textile industries. So, so these type of plant products were used by various industries and various usages of human beings. Then social values. So in the social values are refer to bioresources are used by this used to this society. So these values are associated with the social life, religion, and spiritual aspects of the peoples. So holy plants like tulasi and people and lotus. So these kind of plant materials were used as a holy plants, and the leaves, fruits of these plants are used in the worship for their time, holy times. Then holy animals, cow, snake, bull, peacock, rat, also the considered as a holy animals. For Shiva, used as a how used a how to their vehicle, and some other gods were used by a vehicle by their animals. So these animals may be considered as a holy animals. Then ethical values. So in this ethical value may defined as all lives must be preserved. So that is ethical one. So in India, most of the human peoples comparatively other countries, biodiversity is considered to great values of religious and cultural basis. And in this in all over India having more and most more number of religious and more number of cultures are there. Then our rich heritage teaches us to worship plants, animals, rivers, and mountains. The ethical value of means the species may or may not be used, but its existence in nature gives pleasure. For example, the river Ganga is considered as holy river, and the Neem, Tulasi, Vengai, so are the same trees of are worshipped by Tamil peoples. So we are not deriving anything directly from Gangaru, zebra, and giraffe, but we feel that these should exist in nature. So aesthetic values. So in these aesthetic values are used by beautiful nature of plants and animals insist us protect biodiversity. The most important aesthetic value of biodiversity is ecotourism. For example, in this example of people from fair place spend a lot of time and money to visit the beautiful areas. In Tamil Nadu, most of the peoples are visiting Ooty and Kodaikanal and Erode, some other places for their uh, for spending a lot of money and time for visiting their beautiful places. So this type of tourism is known as ecotourism, and the pleasant music of the wild birds, color of butterflies, and color of flowers, color of peacocks are very important for their aesthetic value. Then optional values. In these optional values are the potential of biodiversity that are presently unknown and need to be known. The optional values of biodiversity suggest that any species may be proved to be a valuable species after the some days. That is optional value. Then the growing example of optional values. The growing biotechnology field is searching a species for causing the diseases, cancer, and AIDS, and some other diseases. Then global biodiversity. So the global biodiversity is an total number of living species in the world are about 20 million, which only 1.5 million species are found in the scientific names, and the tropical deforestation along reducing the biodiversity by 0.5 percentage in every year. Then terrestrial biodiversity or biomass is the largest ecological units present in the different geographic areas and are named in different ways. For example, tropical rainforest, savannas, desert, and tundras also. Then tropical rainforest, it is a earth largest storehouse of biodiversity. So they are inhabited by million of species of plants. Then temperate forest. So in this temperate forest, having much less biodiversity globally, they are nearly 1,70,000 flowering plants, 30 vertebrates, and 2,50,000 other group of species. Then my marine biodiversity. So in this marine biodiversity, much higher than the terrestrial biodiversity, and but it is less known and described. Out of 35 existing phyla of multicellular animals, 34 of are marine. So living species estimation stable. So taxonomic group of the marine biodiversity, the protozoans are number is 31,000. So some other examples are shown there. This is the taxonomic group and the number of species are living in marine biodiversity. Then biodiversity at national level. So in India, all over the India, the second largest nation containing 5% of the world biodiversity and 2% of the Earth's surface. The rank of India biodiversity, it has been estimated that India gets it's a 10th rank in among the plant-rich countries of the world, and it is 11th rank among the endemic species of the higher vertebrates, and it is a 6th rank among all the nations centers of diversity and origin of agriculture crops. So India is an agricultural country, and its economic growth depends on the production of many crops. Among several developing nations, India is considered as mega diversity nation because it is rich in both fauna and flora, and there is high demand of Indian species in abroad. Then medicinal value, more than 2,000 medicinal plants are cultivated in India, which can cure many diseases. Then commercial value, in this commonly the sandalwood is an commercial one. It has a high commercial values if it is sold in abroad. Then Indian tobacco has high nicotine content. In the recent times, most of the in Manipur state, some two groups are fighting within the state, so because of their own needs of some tobacco material. So in this Indian tobacco has high nicotine content in compared to other tobacco. Several species of non-wild edible mushrooms cultivated and exported to advanced countries. The demand for ornamental plants, flowers, and fruits are increasing from decade to decade. And more than 100 species of microorganisms were collected from Indian soils and cultured, developed, and formulated abroad laboratories. Then number of plant and animal species in India. So the group of animals and plants are are listed out in this table. A number of species are listed out in this table. So biodiversity of Tamil Nadu. In biodiversity of Tamil Nadu, distributions of plants and animals are among various districts of Tamil Nadu are even uneven. So in Western Ghats from Tamil Nadu has 1,500 species of plants and 50 species of mammals and 90 reptiles are having there. Then the birds are of several species coming to Vedanangal Charanalayam from far of some places. Then elephant sanctuaries at Animalai nearby Coimbatore district. Then tiger sanctuary at Mundadurai Saranalayam. Uh, for these are the examples of biodiversity of Tamil Nadu. In the hotspots of biodiversity, it's more very important topic in this unit. Most remarkable and threatened area of areas where many of them in reduced to less than 10% of their original vegetations. So these areas are called as hotspots of biodiversity. So the geographical areas which possess high endemic species. So that is hotspots of biodiversity. The global level, these are the areas of high conservation priority. If these species lost, they can never be replaced or regenerated. Threats. So in this threat of biodiversity, the disturbance in a natural ecosystem tend to reduce its biodiversity. The waste generated due to increase in human population and industrializations spoils the environment and leads to more diversity in biological species. Any change in the system leads to a major imbalance and threatens the normal ecological cycle. Then habitat loss. The loss of populations of interbreeding organisms is caused by habitat loss. And habitat loss threaten a wide range of animals and plants. Then factor influencing habitat loss, deforestation. The loss of habitat is mainly caused by the deforestation activities. So these grasslands and their forest cleared for conversion of into agricultural lands and settlement areas. So these are the developmental projects. So these reasons are for deforestation. Then destruction of wetlands. So the wetlands and mangrove forests are destroyed due to the draining and filling and pollutions, which cause huge biodiversity loss. Then habitat fragmentations. Sometimes the habitat is divided into small and scattered patches. Then some other factors affecting the deforestation. Then poaching. So poaching in wildlife animals. So it means killing of animal or commercial hunting, that is known as poaching. Poaching. So it leads to loss of animal biodiversity. So it's contained by commercial and subsistence. So these are the reasons for poaching of wildlife. Then factors influencing as long as human population has been increased due to the population due to the pressure of forest resources. Then commercial activities and wildlife products, wildlife wealth of wildlife, importance of wildlife. So these are the reasons. Then examples: blue morpho butterfly in Brazil is poached for making attractive trays and other objects. Then blubber, so it's used to prepare lamp oils and lubricating oils. So these are the examples of wildlife animals are poaching into the nations, all among the nations. Then man wildlife conflicts. In this man wildlife conflicts arise due to the uh, damage and danger of the humans. So, such conditions, it's very difficult for handling the forest department, and it's not compromises to anyone. And it is affected villages and to gain the villages support for wildlife conservation. And some other examples of man wildlife conflicts in India. So, Sambalpur, Orissa district, Orissa state, 195 humans are killed in the last 5 years by elephants. So it in this retaliations, the villagers have killed 98 elephants, and badly injured 30 elephants. And some other examples are shown there. Then remedial measures of conservation of biodiversity. So the adequate crop and cattle compensation schemes must be started. Then solar powered fencings must be provided along with the electric current proof. Then trenches to prevent animals from entering into all the fields. Cropping pattern should be changed near the forest borders. Adequate food and water should be made available for the wild animals within forest zones. The development and constructional work in and around all the forest regions, so it should be must reach stopped. Then endangered and endemic species of India. So in this endangered and endemic species, like according all the international states, the species are classified into various types. First one is extinct and endangered. The species are no longer found in the world. That is extinct species. Then endangered species. So the species of the animals or anything is in endangered, like reduced to the critical level. That is called endangered species. Then vulnerable species. So it's said to be vulnerable when it is population is facing continuous decline due to the habitat destructions or over exploitation. The species is still abundant. Then rare species. So a species is said to be rare when it is localized within a restricted area. They are thinly scattered over a more extensive area. Such as species are not endangered or vulnerable. Then endangered species of India. A species is said to be endangered when its number has been reduced to a critical level unless it is protected and conserved. It is in immediate danger of extinction. So in India, 450 plant species have been identified in endangered species. Then importance. So importance of endangered species are and the birds, peacock, Siberian white crane, and pelican, Indian bustard. So these are the important endangered species. And plants like medicinal, having a high medicinal values. So it's more important for human life. Then on red data book. So this red data book contains a list of endangered species of plants and animals. In this red data book gives the warning signal for those species which are endangered, and if not protected, they become extinct in near futures. That is red data book. So in shortly, the endangered species of animals and plants are having there in this red data book. That is called red data book. Then factors affecting, first one is pollution, then over exploitation, climate change, and some other reasons are the factors, endangered species. So it destroys the species, some other species. Then endemic species. So there are two types are in this endemic species. First one is flora and second one is fauna. So in this fauna, animals were present in the particular region only. Then fauna is an plants were present in the particular region. So in this fauna, animals, in this flora are plants. So it's a simple example for flora and fauna. Then endemic species in India, some species like angiosperms, teratophyta. So these groups are is in endemic level. So the number of species of Teratophyta is 200, and the number of species of 4,950 is in angiosperms are in endemic level. And finally, uh, we conclude the unit. So thank you so much, my dear.